Welcome back to TETS, my dear friends. Good morning to each and every one of you. The topic that we are going to handle today, mastering virtual interviews, the tips and the tricks. So my dear friends, COVID-19 has put us into a kind of a situation where we need to get attuned with the technology. Things have become so virtual. Likewise, even the recruitment has become more virtual. More means even 100% virtual nowadays. In our college, we have already started with campus hiring. All are going on virtual mode. Even on Monday, that is tomorrow, we have SAP online recruitment. So, how to master online virtual interviews? I would like to divide this topic into three. One, before the interview, what you are supposed to do, during the interview, and after the interview. So, what you are supposed to do before the interview? Let's get into the topic. So, I have got some 7 pointers to remember before getting into an interview, what you are supposed to do. First one, determine the best hardware to use. What do you mean by best hardware to use? See, we can use either laptops or desktops or even mobile. See, when we talk about best hardware, if it is, see, we need to also look into what platform are they going to recruit through. Maybe for SAP, they are first round of interview, on the second and third round, they have got online test, then virtual round of interview, that is one-to-one technical interview, then technical interview 2, that is also virtual one-to-one, and HR round of interview, that is also virtual one-to-one. But the platform that they are using is HackerRank, and there we are not able to use HackerRank platform on mobile. So we need to also look into the platform on which the interviews are happening. So in that case, if it is HackerRank and where only it is available on hardwares like laptop or desktop with webcam facility, you are supposed to go only with that. Or else, if it is on Zoom or Google Meet and others, you can even use your mobile phones. So mobile has got better pixels. So you need to accordingly design which hardware you are supposed to use. So decide upon which hardware you are going to use for your virtual interview. Second, select the perfect spot. When you are going for an interview, you should know which spot you are going to select. For example, see, I have selected my spot here. There is a background and there is no other thing other than this background and me being seen by the other. So it should suit well. It should be more professional. Please avoid a place where you can see. See, earlier, just yesterday, we had a kind of a Zoom meeting. We had around some 45 people coming into a Zoom meeting, and we were having a discussion on. And I could see one of my colleagues who is talking to me. I could see a pile of laundry behind his back. He was just sitting in front of his bed, and the bed was not properly arranged, and piles of laundry just behind him. So it disturbs the interviewer. Interviewer is not able to see you, and I could also see somebody coming in between, throwing a few more clothes on the bed and going back. So that is a disturbance. The kind of a place that you are going to select matters a lot. So decide upon the place, the perfect place, before getting into an interview, that too virtual interview. The third point, do make a mock run of technology. For example, see, it doesn't mean, see, it simply means do a mock run before you get into a virtual mode. Certain platforms, even Google Meet and others, or WebEx, you need to download that from the Play Store to run that. So do a run, ask your friend to come in, or maybe your friend or your professor or your mentor, whoever it is, ask them to help you do a mock run, try to see how it goes. If it is tomorrow, try to do it today itself and keep everything ready before you get in for the virtual round of interviews. Fourth point, schedule at least one mock interview and practice session. Virtual interview is entirely a different perspective altogether. You are going to talk to a machine. So you are going to have a laptop just in front of you. You are going to talk to the laptop or your mobile, the device that you are going to use. So it is entirely a different perspective. At least in the physical interview, you will have an interviewer sitting in front of you asking you questions, and you can evaluate him, you can see him physically there. And here it is only your laptop and there is nobody else around you. So it is a very difficult situation to get into and to get accustomed to. So at least run mock sessions, the practice sessions. At least I would advise, if you are a newcomer to this platform, at least before going for the original virtual interview, minimum you should have done 10 mock sessions, and that too with your mentor or your friend who knows about it, who can give you some feedback so that it is better. Keep plan B. In case whatever you have planned fails, keep plan B ready. What do you mean by plan B? For example, you are using laptop. Suddenly, Wi-Fi connection with the laptop is not working. Something happened. What are you supposed to do? You should have downloaded that same with your mobile too, in case if it supports mobile. Or you should have informed the interviewer in case of any problem with virtual video interviews. In case if power failure happens and Wi-Fi is not working, you should have asked the interviewer for a even con call facility. So your interview doesn't get hampered. So keep the plan B really ready before getting into the virtual mode. In case if one fails, plan B gets activated. So sixth point, complete interview preparations. You need to prepare. See, practice makes a man perfect. I would rather say practice makes a human perfect. So when you are practicing it, it makes you confident. The confidence level of one gets boosted when you know what you are going to talk. If you are just thinking on the spot and you are trying to say something, it won't be that great. And that too with a virtual interview, it is not going to help you at all. So prepare what you want to say. Even if you want to introduce yourself, you should have prepared. What am I going to talk? What all the points am I going to talk about myself? So if they are asking for about my project, what am I going to talk? So make a kind of a small sheet prepared and rehearse it again and again so that it becomes automatically your own words and you speak with so much of confidence in front of the virtual interviewer. The last point, check the time zone of the interviewer. If it is happening in India, there is no problem at all. Maybe if the interviewer is stationed somewhere else, in Europe or in USA, the problem is of the timing. So try to verify the time zone and keep yourself ready before getting into any virtual interview. So these are the 7 points that I wanted to talk to you about how you need to prepare yourself before getting into any kind of a virtual interview. And let us get into the topic 2, that is during virtual interview, what you are supposed to do. 1. Standard rules apply. What I mean by standard rules: dress code. Since it's an interview just on a virtual mode, you cannot come on any kind of a dress code. So dress code, we had so much of a discussion about power dressing in the previous video. So dress code needs to be the basic point. You need to go with proper dress code, even wearing a shoe. Shoes are very important. Even if you are there on virtual mode of interview, please wear shoes too. That is also important. So, second point, eliminate distractions. What I mean by eliminate distractions: see, when you're selecting a spot, you need to be very sure there is no distraction from anywhere. In case you are using a mobile phone for your interview, keep your mobile phone on do not disturb mode, so that there are no call coming in. In case if the call comes, what happens? The mobile network gets disconnected and there is a disconnect between you and the interviewer. So make sure you put your mobile into do not disturb mode. Shut the TV in the hall. If you are getting into a room, okay, fine, but make sure your TV is shut in the living room. Even that noise should not come as a background noise and disturb the interviewer. What happens when the interviewer is interviewing you and there are so much of a noise, background noise is heard, the interviewer gets disturbed, and automatically the attention from you, it shifts from you to the disturbance. So it disturbs the evaluation pattern itself. So there should be no distraction. Make sure only the interview window is open in your mobile or in your laptop. In case if you are using the laptop, make sure only the interview window is open. No other windows are open. In case if the interviewer is asking you to share the window, share the projects that you have done, share the window please. Share the document with me. If you have to share, ensure only that is open, so that it is very easy to just click that and share. If you are keeping it clumsy, even the desktop of your laptop tells about what you are. In case if you are not keeping it organized and you have got so much of a piles of documents here and there, it looks disturbing. It tells about your own character, that you are not keeping things in order. So make it sure you keep your desktop clean and you keep only your interview window open. Third point during the interview that we need to look into: ban all your pets, children, or your friends, or your mom, dad, parents, anybody, your sibling. Banish all of them. They are not supposed to get into the room, the spot that you have selected for your interview. Now it has become so virtual. Even now, whenever we have all the meetings are done virtual in Zoom or Google Meet or any other virtual platforms, I even see, when I interact with my own teammates, I see children coming and peeping through. Hi, uncle. Okay, it is not that great. It is not that serious that we are discussing about. So I can also say, hi, beta, how are you? But when you are going for an interview, I don't want any kind of a disturbance in between as an interviewer. Once it happened, One of my close friends has got a dog. So when we were having an important meeting, it was an important meeting, we were discussing on certain points, what we are supposed to do. The dog came in between and it was moving around, licking him on his face, and it was never willing to move off the space. Coming and looking at the laptop, even coming very close to the webcam. So it was a difficult period for us. I had to tell him, my dear, please send your dog off the space. So all these disturbances in a normal meeting, it is fine. Okay, to a certain extent we can understand. You might, but when you are going for an interview, no, it is a big no. So my dear friends, you are not supposed to do that. The fourth point that I wanted to discuss about is find a neutral background. So we had also discussed about it when we were talking about find a perfect spot. See, your background should be neutral, should not be for example, we were talking about I saw a pile of laundry lying behind. As a student, you might like a few stars, maybe actresses or actor or band. You might have kept all their photographs, all their posters on your wall. Please don't select that. You might like. You may not know whether the interviewer likes that or not. It tells about you. Maybe you. It's not a sin to keep the posters of the people those whom you like. It's fine, but it is not suitable background for your interview. So you need to identify a neutral background, a plain wall where against which you are just sitting and talking to the person. The fifth point that I wanted to talk to you, prioritize the camera and not the screen. This even we have discussed about how to decide upon the hardware you are going to use. See, as I have told you already, prioritize the camera. Most of the laptops have not more than 1.3 megapixels. Mac that I am using, it has 1.3. If you are going with any other laptops, HP or other laptops, they have 0.3 megapixels. Maybe a few might have 1 megapixel, not more than that. The laptop webcam that you have, it is not more than 1.3 megapixels. So the quality that the laptop sends to the other person is not that great. But mobile has, even you have got 48 megapixels front cam. The kind of a quality you are going to get from a mobile is different. So prioritize, it is not the big screen you are going to see, but the quality that you are going to show. The next point that I wanted to talk to you about, remember the non-verbals. Remember the non-verbals. Posture is more important. When you are talking to a person, sit erect. Whenever you wanted to say something, emphasize on certain things, come front and talk to him. And use your gestures, open palm gestures when you are talking to him, when you want to clarify certain things, when you want to say some things, use your gestures. That is more important. Okay. Then eye contact. What do you mean by eye contact here? See, this is how you are going to interact with a person in an interview, virtual interview. In case if you are looking at the face of a person in a laptop and talking to him, the area that you are looking at for the other person who is there on the other side will be of this side, this part. So it is not the eye contact. You are, even though you are looking at the face of a person in the window. But in mobile it is fine. Mobile is a small space. Even if you are looking at the face of a person, it looks as if you are looking at the face on the other side also. But not in laptops. When you are going with a laptop, you are supposed to look at the webcam. It is very difficult. It is very, very, very difficult. Unless and until you practice, you are not going to master it. You are supposed to look at the webcam and you are supposed to speak to the person. My dear friend, in case if you are not able to look at the webcam, what you can do, you can minimize your screen to a smaller level and place it just below the webcam and look at there and talk, and that will give a kind of a show him as if you are looking at him. So that is one of the tricks that you can try. So my dear friends, another thing you are not able to do, you find it very difficult to look at the webcam and you are not able to do, but see, a simple one, what you can do, take a photograph of your best friend or whom you like the most and clip it behind the webcam. Look at your friend and talk. It will look exactly as if you are looking into the person, looking at the face of a person, and you are maintaining a very good eye contact. And another tips, in case if you are very nervous, you are not able to look at the person at all, you have an option of pinning your own video. Pin your video there, look at your own self and start speaking. See yourself and start speaking. That also would help. It will help you to show as if you are maintaining very good eye contact. Next point, use a short chair like this, not a bigger one. Like a normal big chair, you are not supposed to do. Use a small chair, a very comfortable chair, and you should not swing to and fro when you are, or the other way, moving around when you are there on a virtual interview. That is also very important. Wear good earbuds or earphones. So get a better earphone so that your voice reaches the person very well. The last point here is make a sheet for yourself. See, since it's a virtual interview, what you can do, you can take down points which you don't want to forget and keep it beside you and ensure it is not in the view of your camera. So you keep a sheet and keep it away from the camera for your own reference, and it is also possible during the virtual interview but not possible for the physical interview. So these are the 8 points that I want you people to keep in mind when you are there during your virtual interview. Then after the interview, just 2 points. One, send them a thank you mail and follow it up properly. So it is not going to get over by just one interview. So you need to follow further with the person, maybe with the HR person, and make sure they don't get a kind of an idea that you are not that much interested. If you are not following it up, it sends a kind of a signal the person is not that interested in getting a job. So my dear friends, these are the topics. In case if you are able to keep it in mind and master it, nothing is impossible, and virtual interview you can very well master. So my dear friends, thank you very much for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe. Please subscribe and like if you like the video. Thank you very much.